Greetings and beyond the new. My name is Omni, and welcome to the current installment of What If Iruma Was a Saiyan Part 4. Anywho, where we last left off, they had just kicked Iruma out of their girly girl talk. There was silence for a second until, the tallest female with the bloodline ability to charm everyone, charm anything, speaks up saying, okay, you three, I'm really hoping that Irma didn't hear any of our conversations. He might get weirded out, because, we don't know much about his childhood and how he was raised before his grandfather adopted him, right? And every girl and nods at this, but Alice and Clarine and Amory both nod at this rapidly. Okay. Okay, we skip all the way to the night. Amory actually invites everyone, all the girls in Irma's class, and that girl Irma saved when he accidentally made Alice fire on that girl with the demon dragon friend, and when they first fought. Anywho, they all come to Amory's house, and Irma thought. Oh, and also she also invited the other female of the student council. So Irma decided to invite all of his male classmates and the other males of the student council. So since they've all been worried on just why he's been spending so much time with Amory, especially the males of the student council. Anywho, they all go through regular sleepover stuff, and then in the heat of the moment, Clarine suggests they go, because she knows that Irma's throwing his own sleepover party at his house, so that way they can go. She suggests go prank the boys, but before that, find out if Irma heard anything that they were talking about. Which everyone nods rapidly at this, especially Amory and and Alice, and the other girl, the student council, gets questioning look, and then she tries to ask Amory, which she doesn't tell. Then she tries Alice, and then all the other girls, until finally, I remember her name. The tall girl with the charm bloodline ability, Elizabetta, speaks up and tells her everything, blah, 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 blah. And, let's just say the other female in the student council is shocked, especially what the student council president said about Irma. And at the same time she was being told this, Irma was having a sneezing fit. All the guys are concerned, and they ask maybe he's catching a cold. Irma says, no, but I did hear. I do know that if you have a if you sneeze or are having a sneezing fit, then someone probably talking about you behind your back, either in positive or negative ways. And they all get a "Are you serious?" look on their faces, but then they think that they've all had at least one time where they sneezed without inhaling any allergens or having a cold or starting to get a cold, and they see somewhat logic in this. And then the tall the tallest blonde haired boy from Irma's class suggests, "Me thinks we should go prank the girls." All the boys on the student council saying, "No way! Hey, we're going to let you prank President Omri." Then, oh yeah, his name is Sabnok, says, "All right, but I reserve the right to prank the other girls a little bit more to save so to not prank Omri." And they agree to those terms. And in that moment, the girls sleep over and the boys sleep over, all leave. They intersect and they all hide in this large bush. Then when they exit the bush, they out of the corner of their eyes, they see the other group and they get "Are you serious?" Yes looks at the other party, like them thought of pranking that they must have thought pranking the other party was a good idea. Hold on. Anywho, let's see. Then they notice like a okay, so that's when Irma's familiar, who is uh says "All right, seeing as how we're all here, and I sense you all want to prank each other, but let's not do that. So why don't we just talk for a bit, and then just while admiring the stars in the sky." They do. They all do normal conversations. Then the other girl of the student council asks Irma what the other girls wanted to, if he had heard anything when the girls were having their meeting. Then Irma is wondering, "Was I supposed to?" "Oh," he says. Apparently not. It's sensitive girl stuff," she says. "Okay, I won't pry then." Which makes all the girls, especially Omri, Alice, and Clarine, sigh in relief. Irma noticed this at the corner of his eye. "Don't worry, girls. I would never eavesdrop on you, especially if you're talking about girl stuff. Ugh. Besides, I'm not a perverted perverted stalker eavesdropper." And this makes all the girls, especially the girls that have crushes on Irma, to fall even more in love with him. And this actually makes let's see, the secret idol start to get a little flickering of a crush on him, while Elizabetta and the other girl on the student council are impressed at his honesty. Misty and all the guys are impressed except for the girl. I mean the bird-looking one. He feels a little envious, but also more or less ashamed of him going to those lengths to be able to learn more about girls. And it makes him get a pit in his stomach of shame. And so then he pulls Iruma aside and asks him to teach him his way. He's on how he can get better at being more forthcoming with females. Irma gets a face at this, and everyone giggles at his face. Then they do a little more talking. They go back to their parties. Okay, hold on. Sorry, needed to blow my nose. I can't help it when my nose gets itchy. Anywho, let's get back into the video. They all go back to their respective slumber parties. Then Elizabeth asks Alice, Clarine, and Amory if they were serious about wanting to become Irma's lovers and wives. Amory is hesitant, and Clarine and Alice both say, "Of course we are." Alice says, "Yeah, we love Irmakins," Clarine says. Then they all look at Amory and seeing how and then she goes nuclear red and says, "Okay, I'm in love with Irma." And then the only other female of the student council asks, "How did you fall for him? And how did you even meet in the first place?" Amory gives them the basic gist of it, except for the whole revealing about the manga readings, about the manga First Love Memories. Anywho, we skippity skip. Yep. Oh, and real quick, we do a couple of flashbacks about all the the manifestations of the gluttonous feeding, aka the king, the ring of the netherworld ruler, or king, if you prefer, ruler or king, or monarch, whichever you prefer. Anywho, okay, now we go right into when at night. My apologies. I'm doing this on my phone, and well, I'm sure everyone on YouTube has at least gotten one scam risk call on their phone. Anywho, let me see. Oh yeah, okay. So we skip a week, and then Ollie uses those two spells to make Iruma have his evil cycle go. While Saiyans and Frieza's race were originally from the Netherworld, a spell had an unintended effect of deactivating their evil cycle, so these two spells together reactivated his, evil cycle. Everything goes like in canon, yada yada yada, yada yada yada. Okay, so Iruma gets extra cold because let's just say he had accidentally gotten soaked. So on his right leg, while he was sitting, Clarine sat on his right leg while Alice sat on his left leg. Then after he got warmed up, he gave them both little pecks on the forehead, which makes them both faint and have a bit of a nosebleed, and steam come out of their ears like a tea kettle. And all, then everything goes like in canon. Then when it's just him and the secret netherworld version of an idol, are alone. That's when they were both reaching for something, which was a pen, and Iruma wanted it because he wanted to write out another plan as a backup of a backup. Like a like a plan. A plan J, and I'm going by the American alphabet on this. Okay, so yeah. Anywho, the secret idol wanted it to while she was still trying to scribble down some ideas that she just got, and when they touched, her face got nuclear red. She almost fainted. She held on consciousness, but her body still, was about to fall. So Iruma caught her and put his forehead to her forehead, which she got worried about because she's getting a temperature. That's when Sobnak, the bird, and white version of Cousin Itz from the Addams Family walk in. They notice this. They all get a ah look. Like an when you say ah for something cute, or when you say ah for when you uh, get a knowing look, and when you finally realize that one of your classmates has a crush on another classmate. Anywho, he then picks her up bridal style, rushes her to the infirmary, yada yada yada, when he left the classroom. The entrance to where the stairs that go to the classroom start, passing Alice and Clarine, making them both let out a Kage death glare. Yeah, but it wasn't enough to have Iruma notice it. And Clarine did notice it, and internally she's saying, "Oh man, I am so in trouble for this." Then she has a similar thought to when Iruma and her pass Amory with the other members of the student council. She gives the Kage death glare. She gets the same feeling in her gut that she's definitely not going to hear the end of this from her three friends. So yeah, all the girls in the student council and in Iruma's class are all friends, along with all the boys of Iruma's class, and of course the males of the student council are all friends. And when Amari gives the Kage death glare to the secret idol, this makes all the others of the student council sweat drop at this. And then out of the corner of her eye, Amari notices and says, "What?" to them in a tone laced with so much venom that they're, instead of a sweat drop, they like all recoil to be as small as amoebas. Anywho, and then they in unison say, "Nothing, ma'am." Then Amri says, "Good." Then she walks off. They trail behind her and say, and think in their mind. Well, the boys think in their mind, "Man, Iruma works fast." But the only other girl of the student council saying, "Clarine, you should no, wait, no. I mean, the secret idol." She's saying that the secret idol should be careful and also give the other girls the details of why she's being bridal carried somewhere. They make it to the nurse's office, then they go back, then Irma goes back to classroom, everything goes like in canon, yada, yada, yada. They get all the signatures of the teachers, and at the last second, the other staff members also give out their signatures. But Amory is a little upset, so in between when they got the last teacher signatures and the deadline for getting the signatures from the others, Irma did see that she was a little angry, and he promises to make it up to her as long as the request is within reason. And Amory, without realizing and thinking out loud, well then, oh, why don't you treat me to dinner? She mumbles out, but loud enough for Irma to hear her, and okay, I'll sweeten the deal by making you my favorite dish myself. Alma, realizing she said it out loud, and says, "No, no, 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 no. Just dinner at any old restaurant will be fine." "No, no, no. And besides, you're a hard worker, and I am a very good cook, 3-star cook at the very least, if I do say so myself. And opera, my butler, and my adopted grandfather would agree. Biases notwithstanding. If they include their biases, well, opera would say I'm a 3.5-star chef, while my Gramps would say I'm a 5-star chef. Anywho, that's what happens, yada yada yada. Then Irma touches her forehead like how Itachi's would touch little kid Sasuke's forehead before the Uchiha massacre in canon of anime of Naruto / Naruto Shippuden. Anywho, hold on. Sorry, I needed to blow my nose again. I hate those hanging things. Anywho, okay, so yeah. So, yada yada yada, everything goes all the same. Then, of course, when Irma gets out of his now reactivated evil cycle of his ancestry, because I'm going to say, on rare occasions, some netherworld animals, especially those that with high levels of intelligence, will go through evil cycles, but on a lot more rarer occasions, like one will be born in one in 100 of a species, and will only compared to if the evil cycles like for for the dominance of the netherworld's population with that with the with the evil cycle thing has every year uh, a netherworld creature with high intelligence being born once every 100 years has an evil cycle that occurs every 10 years. Okay, so yeah, well that's how it's gonna work in my canon. Anywho, and if it works like that in the original canon, but it just hasn't been, you know, mentioned or just mentioned in passing in the manga and not in the anime, well, the old saying is great minds think alike, right? Anywho, but I'm not going to say that. I'm just gonna. That's just an old saying. But if it's not in the manga or anime, then I'm gonna say it's my idea. Okay. Well, for this, what if anyway? Okay, now let's see. Yeah. And for any future welcome to Demon School / Iruma what ifs. Anywho, let's get back into the video. So yeah, everything goes like in canon, yada yada yada. Uh, hold on. I'm just gonna look something up real quick on my computer. If you hear that music, it's just the ad that's being played on my computer. If not, then now you know. Sorry, needed to blow my nose again. Okay, now we're gonna do a real quick flashback to when Clarine and Alice and I'll just say Amory try to cook a dish for Irma. Irma. They both Clarine and and Alice both cook what they cook in canon. Yada yada yada. Amory cooks her favorite dish. Is trying to show more femininity. Her father sees this, figures it out, promptly faints, but she doesn't have time to worry about that since one of his coworkers was on their way, and then when the coworker of her father gets there, she says, "I'm leaving you with my to deal with my father." The coworker says, "But man, but," and Amory quickly flies off. Okay, so yeah, and then we cut to uh, Clarine and Alice both getting into the same airspace as Irma's house. They all land. They all see that they all have dishes that they prepared for him. Yada yada yada. Opera escorts them inside. Everything goes like a cannon. Iruma tries each of the dishes, and then he tries two different two-way combinations between the three dishes, then combines all three dishes. Then he suggests that the girls do the same thing, and then they ask what was his favorite, and he says, well, the three-way combo between your dishes is. But if I had to pick one, well, I'd say they were all equally delicious. They all blush under his praise. Okay, so Irma also gives notes saying that, well, Alice, you're really good with making broth. Alice, steam comes out of Alice's ears from the praise, yada yada yada. Clarine, you're really good with knowing how to temper flavors. Same thing happens. Steam comes out of her ears, and Amory, you can make any dish look like a work of art. Amory's ears puff out. Steam, yada yada yada. Anywho, that is where I am going to be leaving it off. I hope you guys enjoyed. Like, comment, and subscribe, but I'm not doing this for that. Anywho, I'm doing it to show my own spin on things and for the entertainment value. Anyway, bye!